Alright guys, so when you think of a daily, what do you think of? Do you think of, and this is me asking you, this isn't like rhetorical, you can comment below, like when you think of a daily, do you think of something that is like stock high or like a truck or slammed or, you know, reliable or generally unreliable, but like it's still the car you have to drive? So I think there's 5 kinds of dailies. There's the car that you got a loan on and then bought, or just a stock whatever car that is like newer that you just bought and you drive every day. Then there's the cheap car that you could afford that you kind of like don't want to drive, but you do drive every day. Whether or not it's reliable, you know, that's on you. Then there's the car that you drive every day that's also your project car, and that seems to be a touchy subject because a lot of people don't agree with the fact that a project car could be something that is also your daily. Because people think a project car is like something like this, where it's been inside for a good while and, you know, you're working on it and, you know, it's a project. They don't see something that you drive every day as a project, but throughout, like, you know, I've never been rich, I never had mad money or anything like that. Like I said, like you guys have seen it before, I put it in videos, my Prelude. Like that thing I had for a good while and I did mad work to it while it was also my daily. So like I had to drive it around spray painted, I had to drive it around with primer spots, I had to drive it around looking like a piece of shit. And like eventually, you know, it pays off. So that's, I think that's type 3. And then type 4 of a daily would probably be something like this, I think, where like it's not expensive whatsoever. You bought it because it was cheap as shit and you could like make it look okay. And you know, it's kind of low but not crazy. And it's just something that, you know, just gets you from point A to point B. And then I think the 5th type of daily would be my Prelude, like something like my Prelude, like something where you have it to look good as fuck. It is not comfortable, it is not meant to be a daily, it is not meant for any of that stuff, but it looks great and you don't care how it rides, how people look at it, they're like, oh, how the hell do you drive this thing? Like you don't care about any of that stuff, and it just, you want to drive the car because you love it, and that's it. Those are, I think, the 5 types of dailies for me, in my opinion. Now, what is the perfect daily? That, it's really dependent on you, honestly, because if you want a car like me, like when I bought this, it was like my Z blew up, I needed a car, let's go find a car. I got this thing, 300 bucks. I threw a $50 paint job on it. Yeah, it looks like shit, but it's not the worst. You know, it's better than the tan. Raceland sent me out the coilovers, and even if they didn't, you know, they're 400 bucks. Like they're super affordable, so it's not like it would be a problem. Like very minimalistic mods. Like it's automatic. It's a NA Subaru. Has like 260,000 miles on it. Like it's clapped, but it gets me to the shop every day. It burns a shit ton of oil. It used to overheat a shit ton. My fans are hardwired. Like this is not by any means the perfect daily, but for me, it does me fine. For you, maybe you guys, for a perfect daily, for some people might be like, I need AC, I need heat, I need a quiet exhaust because cops, or I just don't like loud exhaust, like stuff like that. There's different kinds of dailies for like people. Not everybody wants a slam daily, slam it on tarmacs and daily. Not everyone wants a crazy, you know, expensive daily. Not everyone can afford a crazy expensive daily. Some people just have the minimalistic, like, I just need to drive. Like they'll go on Craigslist and buy like a Cavalier for like 2,500 with like 60K on it, just because they know it has low miles, it's super cheap, it'll be cheap on gas, cheap on insurance, and they just want to drive it. They don't care what it looks like, they don't care about anything like that. Me, I'm kind of butthurt for the looks, so like I don't think I'll ever have a daily that looks like complete shit. Like this thing isn't great, it does not look good, but I enjoy it. If I see it, you know, if I'm eating and I see it outside at a restaurant or something, I can look at it and be like, cool, you know? Like if this wasn't my car, I would say that's a cool car. Some of you might disagree. That's okay. This is the car community, you know? Not everyone likes everything. It's been made very clear by, I'm sure, anyone that you've seen on Instagram. I'm sure if you guys post your car, like you don't have to have a following to see that no one has the same taste in cars. Like you can go to a car show, be like, wow, that's horrible. I wouldn't do that to my car. Like, why would anyone do that? Like, And you don't even realize that's you hating on somebody else's like thing. And that's where, like, the last video I made was roasting people's cars, which I know I'm horrible at roasting. I cannot roast people's cars because I don't do it. But I mean, maybe I'll get better at it. I'm not roasting them to be serious. I'm just like saying things. I don't know. But what is a perfect daily? My opinion. You guys can leave yours in the comments. If you guys want to give like a 5-section comment of what you personally believe is the perfect daily, you don't have to name a car or anything, just like circumstances or, you know, whatever. But for me, it's something that gets you where you need to go, looks okay, you're not embarrassed to drive. Like, this thing's a piece of shit, but I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, I want a 2017 BMW because I'm a YouTuber and I have all this money and all blah, blah, blah. No, dude. So now on to this thing. This is a 2003 Nissan 350Z. For those who don't know, I'm sure most of you guys know what a 350Z is. I think everyone knows what a 350Z is. I just say it just in case there's someone who's watching that hasn't watched the channel and is not into cars or whatever, you know? Believe it or not, that happens. People watch the channel that aren't subscribed and then they subscribe. Or they don't, you know? That's on them. But this thing, I worked on very little over the last 2 years. Like, this swap is the most work I've done to it since I've owned it. So I got this thing, a straight trade for my CBR 600. I had no third gear, but my buddy Danny that I got the car from gave me a new transmission with it. It was a CD08. I put it in, you know, because the clutch fork pivot ball like snapped off on the transmission that had the no third gear. So I was like, all right, whatever. I need to put a clutch in it and a new tranny anyway. So I put the new clutch in it. I already had the transmission. This thing got better gas mileage than the Subaru. Had the stock VQ35 in it. Had 154K on it when I bought it. When it blew up, it had 172. Now, over the 2 years, I drove it every single day, far and freaking wide. I drove it to H2O in Ocean City, Maryland. Drove around for 3-4 days down there, and drove it back up here. You know, and it was slammed too. I drove this thing for 2 years. It was just a more comfortable ride. Obviously way faster, you know. You get road rage in one of these things, guys, and you're hit. You know, you gotta take it. You gotta just be like, all right, well, I can't catch you, so I'm just gonna sit here and, you know, if someone's trying to pass you, you can't speed up and pass them. Like, it doesn't work. Like, so yeah, like, this car is meant for road rage. You can freaking pass whoever you want. It's pretty damn quick, regardless of what all the HR dudes say. I beat a VHR on this thing. I don't want to hear nothing, dude. Plenum spacer, muffler, and resonator delete, that's all I had. But this thing rode great, handled great, felt great. Another thing, if you have a girlfriend and you have a Z, you can put your windows down and not fuck up their hair, and, you know, you'll be good. Because in the Subi, in Cali Subi, like, you know, the window's gotta be up or her shit will, you know, bug out. But the Z, like, you can drive around in the winter with the windows all the way down with like the heat blasting and like you're chilling. Like, it's just the way the car is designed is great. Flaws of this car, because I told you the flaws of my car. Flaws of this car. If you get pulled over in this car and you got like tinted windows, or if you even worse, if you don't have tinted windows, I suggest you keep your registration and insurance in this right here, not in the actual glove box right here, because there's no front glove box. And I think the last thing a cop wants to see when they pull you over is you reaching behind the passenger seat. You know, if your shin is here and this door swings closed, anyone with a Z will tell you she got a dent in it now. The reason that happened, the door hinges are actually a Nissan Sentra door hinge. And when the seals go, they don't hold the doors open. So, yeah, there's your 800-pound door. So for the next bad thing about a Z, I think, is how heavy this is. The whole car just moved. The whole thing. At least 150, 200, 300 pounds, I don't know. They need structural rigidity, all that stuff, blah, blah, but, you know, that's a little ridiculous. Another awesome thing about the 350Z is you can do so little and get so much from it. Like, all I had was a muffler delete, and, well, it was a questionable muffler delete. I had a muffler delete and a resonator delete, and it sounded amazing. They sound amazing to me. Like, a lot of people say they like, oh, I hate Z's, like it makes my ear bleed. Like my car was straight pipe. I love the way it sounded. If you asked me a year ago what the perfect daily is, I'd say Z. As of right now, I like putting regular gas in my car, so the Subi's the way to go for me. But if you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said, dude, get a Z. It's great. You know, they're comfortable. They're, you know, kind of quick. It's a fun car. It looks good. You don't look like a friggin' chump getting out of it. That's another thing I'll say. People look at you a lot differently when you get out of a Subi that looks like that compared to like what my Z looked like when I would get out of it. They'd be like, oh, okay, look at that. It's a nice car, you know, like that kid has money into it. They look at me when I get out of this thing and they're like, oh fuck, I gotta give this dude some money. Shit, like, you think he needs a place to sleep? No matter what you drive, there's always gonna be someone with a better car than you, or someone whose uncle's, dad's, grandfather's, step cousin has a faster car than you, and they're gonna tell you your car is trash because they don't like it, because someone told them along the line that they shouldn't, or society is just like, say you have a Honda and someone's making fun of Hondas, it's probably because their friends make fun of Hondas and they don't want to be judged. But in reality, either they know nothing about cars or they just are a follower. You can't be like those people. Don't be like those people. The car scene wants you to not be a butthurt. Don't be a butthurt. I could say something good about every one of those cars I roasted. Maybe I'll do that. Let me know if I should do a video complimenting all the cars that DM'd me saying to roast them. Because I can easily do that. I could pick out something I like about like any car. Watch the videos of me going to the car show. You'll see me put like there's just so many different cars. It's not like I'm sitting there pointing at Lambos like, wow, that's so sick. Like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like, no, I like realistic cars, and I like cars that I can see the personality that's been put in. But that wraps up this video. I hope you guys like them. I'm trying to do a bunch of different types of videos because like there's certain days where I just can't work on my cars and stuff like that. Like, so again, if you guys want to see regular vlogs, non-car related vlogs, if you guys want to see videos like this where it's just a discussion, if you guys want to see, you know, if you guys want to do interactive videos, let me know. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I think this was like a cool thing to talk about, because a lot of people will make a video but it's like super biased. Like, it'll be like 10 things I hate about my Subaru, 10 things I hate about my 350Z. Like I can do that easily any day. I could do that right after this in like 10 minutes and then make a 10-minute and 1-second video, put 15 ads in it, and then I'm a freaking YouTuber, guys. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Just I thought this would be a cool thing to talk about, because I know some people, they think like they're held to this standard. Like every 16-year-old ever is like, oh, I need a GTR, or my friends are gonna think I'm gay, like all this stuff, or my friends aren't gonna like me because I don't have a GTR or a 350Z. Like, you don't need this out of high school, guys. Like, you should see the I'll like go to the how it all started video. I'll put the link in the description, and you can see the cars that I've owned. You know, like you got to start somewhere. Don't try not to roast yourself too hard, guys. Everyone has to start somewhere. Unless you have insanely rich parents or you lie about a lemonade stand, you're probably not gonna have a Lambo in high school. I'm not trying to be some friggin' philosophical guy over here, but don't be a butthurt, guys. Don't be a butthurt. Those are my thoughts on the dailies. Those are my thoughts on what makes a perfect daily, or what made a perfect daily for me. Like I said, I'd like to see your guys' comments on what you think a perfect daily would be, and what your perfect daily, you know, is, or what your goal is. So comment below. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to hearing your feedback, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.